Hi guys, this is a screencast to help you guys understand how to go into your Google Classroom, create a blog for your scientific method, and how to submit it. So the first thing that I'd like you guys to do is log into your Google Classroom. This is just an example for one of the classes I'm creating. You're going to go to the create blog for the scientific method, and then you'll see I've posted my own blog here for you guys to see as an example. Also, please put your link for your blog in here. You're going to submit it. Don't include it as an example or a comment, but submit it and put a link. The link button should be the fourth one down on your line of attachments. So just so you guys understand what the link should look like, the link button, it's this one right here. So when you do make something a link, all you'll do is copy the link that you're looking for, go to attach link, and then you'll paste using Control V. When you click add, it'll show up. So when you submit it, that's how you're going to submit it. All right. So first things first, I'd like you guys to go to my blog that I've created, Science 7. It's mrspalmascience.blogspot.com. You guys are familiar using blogs. I know you've done it in the past. I know you've done it in computers, but that's something we can always go through step by step as well. So this is my blog, and the first thing that I did for you is I created a scientific method template. Here's just an example of what you'd use for your lab. You can follow the same format using Roman numerals. If you have any problems formatting, like when you're typing in using the blogger, my suggestion would be to write it in Google Docs and then copy Control C and paste Control V into here afterwards. That's what I had to do to get all the tabs and everything that weren't the same. So each write-up or lab experiment should be done in the following format. You should always have your experiment number and your title and the date. I would also make sure that I put the scientific experiment title here too when you're doing your blog, and I'll show you that in a moment. This is how everything should be set up. I want Roman numerals, and I want each of these headings here: problem, hypothesis, materials, procedure, observation, and conclusion. Your problem should be a complete sentence in the form of a question. Your hypothesis needs to be a complete sentence that answers a question and explains the problem, and it should be in the following format. I think that blah 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 because blah blah blah. So you always want to start off saying I think that, and put what you think, and put your reasoning behind it. You think this because of this. When you're done with your hypothesis, then we list the materials. Everything that you'll need for the lab, anything, and possibly you can include a setup of the lab, maybe a picture, a diagram, a drawing, something. Next, you go to procedures. This is your list of what you're going to do. Complete sentences are not needed here. This isn't English style writing for the procedure. This is scientific writing. It's very short and sweet, to the point, everything that you need to say, and no extra fluff words or frill words in there. When you are doing a pre-lab, all you need to do in order to do the lab is go through the fourth one. So go through procedures. I need to see that you have that done before you actually start the lab. We're going to be doing the observation and the conclusion when we're actually in the lab. So those don't have to be done. When we're done completing our lab, that's where your observation will go. Your data tables, your graphs, your descriptions, label all pictures. And in fact, we should be using the iPads, so you have pictures that you can take during the lab and embed them in here. And I'll show you that in a moment too. And then lastly, you have your conclusion. Your conclusion should actually be written in an English style format. Complete sentences, you're going to tell whether your hypothesis was correct and why or why not. It's not enough just to say, yes, my hypothesis was right. You have to explain why. Tell what you learned, what would you do differently, any other information specific for the lab. It's a half-a-page requirement. This is not an opinion. This is not a chance for you to say, I really like this lab, or this was my favorite lab. This is a chance for you to analyze the lab itself. Were there any mistakes that happened? Could you have done anything better if you were to do it next time? why something worked out, why something didn't work out. That's what your conclusion is. Maybe relating it to something that we've done in class or something that you understand outside of class. That's what your conclusion is for. So let's start by looking at your actual blog. So when I'm making a blog, I'm going to zoom this up here. When I'm making a blog, the first thing you want to do is create a new post. So what I would do is I would create this new post, and let's say this is experiment 1. So you want your title in there, and then down here you're going to make sure you put experiment 1 and then the date. So today is March 1st. Then what I would do is I would go back to my initial blog, the template, and I'm going to copy and paste the scientific method. You can write it by hand, but if you don't remember or don't understand all the different steps, I'm going to press and hold the control button and press the letter C, and then press and hold control V, and it puts it all in for you. So now all you need to do is just make sure you follow all the formats. So let's refer back to one of the other labs that we've done. So the groundwater simulation. How can I use cereal to demonstrate groundwater? That could be your question. And then your hypothesis, you could say, I think that using different cereal we can demonstrate groundwater because different cereals have different porosity, and using milk can simulate groundwater in our lab. So it's one sentence. It's a longer one because you're saying I think that, and you're explaining something that you think, and then you're explaining why you think that. And then here your list of materials, then your procedure. That's all you would need to make sure you're able to do the lab. Then after that you go to your observations and your conclusion. So your procedure, you have to make sure you have done first too. If you do want to submit a picture in here, all you do is you go up to the insert image, and you can upload something if you have a file from your phone. You could possibly do from a URL. Just make sure if you're taking something from a URL, you copy and paste the URL there, but make sure that you have the rights to use it. Easiest way is go to Creative Commons, or if you're in Google, you can also search, refine your search to Creative Commons. So once you have this done, you're going to save it. You can even preview it, but it needs to be published in order for it to be submitted to me. So I'm going to publish this, and then here's experiment 1. So I'm going to share it. Oh, can't share. So I'm going to view my blog here, and then I can click on here, experiment 1. It should already be up anyway. And then I can copy and paste the URL, which you see right here. So I'm going to click on it once, press and hold Control C, go into your Google Classroom, go to your scientific method, and you should see a button here that says Submit Assignment. You'll click on that. Mine looks a little different than yours, but you'll click on the one that says Submit Assignment, and you're not going to put it in comments. Please do not put it down here. Okay? You're going to submit your assignment and then use that link button again. So you're going to link it. You'll see the word add. You'll click add here, and then you'll see, and then I can tell whether or not you have it done. So when I click here, I'll see all of the students' names and I'll see whether or not they submitted it, and then I can give you your points there. Everything is time stamped. So as soon as you enter it, I know when it was published and when it was sent. Make sure that you guys follow the timestamps and the dates and everything, your due dates that you have. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. But hopefully this screencast about how to upload to Google Docs and how to create your scientific method using Google Blogger has been helpful. Like I said, if you have any other questions, feel free to personally email me.